Good evening. My name is Pat Eklund, and I serve on the Novato City Council, and I am past president of the League of California Cities, 2004-2005, when my name was passed, yay, in every single county in the state. And I also serve on the ABAG Executive Board, representing the 11 cities in Marin County. Ken, thank you very much for your presentation. You always do a great job, and really appreciate that both Rebecca as well as Brad are here as well. And Brad has attended some of these meetings in the past, and also mayors and council members. First of all, I'm disappointed that you didn't bring copies of the compact, and I guess I would request Nancy Bennett, where are you? There you are. If I give you the final copy, could you send it out to all the elected officials in the North Bay Division? Because I believe if you take the time to read this, every city in the North Bay is going to be, I believe, adversely impacted. Because it's not only a one-size-fits-all, but it's top-down land use planning and zoning. And in fact, the question was asked, what about the next steps? Well, in fact, Scott Wiener has already introduced SB 50, which all of us have already heard about, which is an attempt to implement the compact number, element number 5, which is the minimum zoning near transit. I've attended every single technical and steering committee meeting and MTC meeting and ABAG meeting that we have had on this thing. Very disappointed, and other elected officials have also made this comment that out of the 101 cities in the Bay Area, most of us are small to medium size. Whereas on the technical committee, there was 2 staff members representing cities. One was from Oakland, one was from San Francisco. On the steering committee, we had Jake McKenzie as a grown apart. And he was really the only small, medium-sized city out of the whole Bay Area that was sitting on the steering committee. Julie Combs is sitting on it, but Santa Rosa is, in my view, considered a large city and growing. It's one of probably the largest cities in the North Bay. So the financial situation, the situation of cities, small and medium-sized, are really not factored into this whole compact. And as far as I can say, elements number 1 through 3 have a lot of merit, and the people really worked harder on this, but when you start proposing things that it's going to, by right, allow development to occur regardless of the quality of life, that's where I think it raises some concerns. So my question is, Ken, you're hearing some of the concerns, and I've attended Alameda counties and some of the others that you had. What are you going to do with these? Because the compact has already been passed by CASA. It's already been signed by MTC. Whether it's signed by ABAG or not will yet be decided. So how are you going to change a compact when the state legislatures are already developing bills according to the compact?
Rebecca, you want to? Rebecca's, she's closer to the sausage making in Sacramento.
I'll take a stab. Good to see you, Pat. You know, you brought up SB 50, and I think that's a good example of a bill that's been introduced that is very similar to CASA item number 5, and that's not a big surprise because SB 827 last year certainly caught many people's attention. You know, that was Senator Wiener's original bill about upzoning near transit. The committee that worked on item number 5 definitely looked at that, made some changes to it that are written up in the CASA compact. And then Senator Wiener, you know, he's on his own agenda, right? So he's aware of the CASA work, but he is not asking for permission. He is not reading our compact. He is on his own path. And so how we negotiate that and figure out, you know, letting him know the feedback that we're getting from local government, you know, that is all a work in progress. And so MTC in December endorsed the CASA compact with a number of caveats. So they made clear that we don't support or officially endorse, I can't remember exactly the words, but it's not a blank check. staff, we love everything here, go write bills to do this. We are going to bring back to MTC positions, recommendations on all of the bills. So when we're ready, we'll come back to MTC with a recommendation on SB 50, and very likely we may have some amendments that we'll recommend, and that they will be debated by MTC's legislation committee. Meanwhile, all the other parties that have been engaged in CASA, they'll be doing that legislative work as well. So, I guess the way that I would explain sort of the next steps in Sacramento is it's going to be iterative. We've put out a lot of detailed ideas. In some cases, MTC will be seeking bill authors and working very closely. In others, for the items 1 through 3 that are really around tenant protection, you'll likely see the nonprofit housing organizations and the equity advocates that are taking the lead there. But it's not predetermined, as you all know, when you're working in Sacramento, and it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, figuring out the language through the legislative process.
I guess my last comment is that I'm going to pass out a memo that Steve Heminger just sent out on January 4th, identifying the bills that have already